When the dead speak, Lazarus, and the miracle that shook the world. Imagine a scene so heavy with grief, it feels like the world itself is mourning. The village of Bethany is wrapped in a suffocating silence, save for the quiet sobs of Lazarus' sisters, Mary and Martha. Their brother, the one they loved so deeply, was gone. For days, his lifeless body lay in the tomb, sealed behind a cold, unforgiving stone. The stench of death was already settling in. But this was no ordinary death. Lazarus was no ordinary man. His friendship with Jesus was profound, a bond forged through love, faith, and devotion. So when word reached Jesus that Lazarus was sick, it seemed almost unthinkable that he would delay. Yet delay he did. Days passed, and with each agonizing moment, the hope of healing slipped away. But Jesus had a plan. He told his disciples, "This sickness is not meant to end in death, but is for the glory of God, so that the Son of God may be glorified through it." John chapter 11, verse 4. When Jesus finally arrived in Bethany, the atmosphere was raw with emotion. Martha, always the one to act, ran to meet him. She cried, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. And yet at present I know that whatever you ask God for, God will give you." John chapter 11, verses 21-22. Jesus looked into her tear-streaked face and assured her, "Your brother will rise." Martha replied, "I know he will rise in the resurrection on the last day." Jesus then declared, "I am the resurrection and the life. The one who exercises faith in me, even though he dies, will come to life." John chapter 11, verses 23-25. At the tomb, the tension was palpable. The mourners whispered among themselves, "Could he really do something now?" After 4 long days, the stench of death was undeniable, but Jesus commanded, "Take the stone away." John chapter 11, verse 39, Martha hesitated, saying, "Lord, by now he must smell, for it has been 4 days." Jesus turned to her with unwavering resolve. "Did I not tell you that if you would believe, you would see the glory of God?" John chapter 11, verse 40. Standing before the open tomb, Jesus lifted his eyes to heaven and prayed, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me. True, I knew that you always hear me, but I spoke on account of the crowd standing around, so that they may believe that you sent me." John chapter 11, verses 41-42. Then, with a voice that seemed to pierce the veil of death itself, he shouted, "Lazarus, come out!" John chapter 11, verse 43. What happened next was beyond comprehension. Out of the darkness, wrapped in burial cloths, Lazarus stumbled into the light. Jesus commanded, "Untie him and let him go." John chapter 11, verse 44. Gasps filled the air. The impossible had happened. The dead man lived. This miracle wasn't just about Lazarus. It was a declaration of Jesus' power over death, a foreshadowing of his own resurrection. It was a moment that caused many to believe in him, though it also solidified the resolve of his enemies. The Pharisees, seeing his growing influence, began plotting his death in earnest. If we let him go on like this, everyone will believe in him, and the Romans will come and take away both our place and our nation. John chapter 11, verse 48. But for Mary, Martha, and Lazarus, this was a moment of profound faith rewarded, a moment when the veil between heaven and earth was lifted, if only for a time. This miracle is more than a story. It's an invitation to trust in the one who holds power over life and death. Don't stop here. Watch more to uncover the mysteries of the Bible and deepen your understanding of God's love and power.